Hello, athletes, sports lovers. Today I'm going to talk about the greatest victory of all. That is the resurrection of the Lord Jesus Christ. Resurrection means being raised from the dead and never, never, never to die again. And the Christian faith stands or falls on the resurrection. And that's why we've got to look at it wide-eyed, with a cool head. We've got to look at it logically and analyse it as sharply as we analyse any opponent we're about to face. We can be very much helped in this by the Apostle Paul, who looked at the resurrection in this way. He said, if there is no resurrection, all the talking of people like me is just hot air. He said, if there's no resurrection, our faith is absolutely futile. It's based on nothing. He also said, if the resurrection did not happen, then when you're dead, you're dead. There's no hope of life after death. And the last thing he said was that if the resurrection did not happen, then Christians are the most pathetic and useless people in the whole world. Faith, in order to be proper faith, must be based upon clear evidence and upon solid facts. And that's why the resurrection is so important. Let me share with you 4 reasons I believe that the resurrection is the truth and that Jesus Christ is alive today. First of all, in the 4 Gospels, it gives accounts of the resurrection of the Lord Jesus. It varies in details, but one thing that is absolutely the same in all the Gospels is that the first persons who saw Jesus after his death were women. Now, the incredible thing is that in those days, women were not regarded as reliable witnesses. They couldn't give evidence in a court. And yet, the Gospel accounts say that the women were the first to see him. What the Gospel writers are doing is telling it as it is. If they wanted to cook the books, they'd leave that story about the women seeing Jesus out completely. The second reason is that Jesus was seen by the disciples on at least 3 occasions, and then he was seen by 500 people at once. Now, if the authorities wanted to get rid of that evidence, all they had to do was produce the bodies, but they couldn't. The third reason is that within a year of Jesus rising from the dead, 2 of his followers, Stephen and James, were prepared to die because they truly believed that Jesus was alive. You don't die for a lie. These people had seen Jesus, were convinced that he was alive, and gave their lives for him. The fourth reason is through personal experience. Because I believe the testimony of the Bible that Jesus is alive, and I can speak to him today, I believe that Jesus is the same as he was yesterday, today, and forever. And in the New Testament we know that Jesus healed those who were sick. When I worked in Melbourne, I was looking after a very small church in inner city Melbourne. And one of the girls who came to the church was a 15-year-old girl from one of those high-rise flats about 20 stories high. She developed leukemia and went to the Alfred Hospital. I was asked to be the go-between between the doctors and the family and the doctors. The doctors said that it was a very acute case of leukemia and she only had 4 weeks to live. 2 weeks on, they said to me, you must prepare the family for death. In the meantime, the church was praying because they believed that Jesus, who healed while he was here on earth, could heal incurable diseases today. 1 week later, I went to the hospital and I entered the lift. The first person I saw on the lift was her doctor. I said to him, "How's Suzanne?" He said, "Something amazing has happened. The leukemia has gone. She'll be going home this Friday." I said, What's the explanation? He said, we can't explain it. Something just amazing has happened in her life. I knew that Jesus had healed her because he is alive and we can talk to him. We can relate to him today. Thank you for listening.